What's going on, everyone? Trust the Buzz here. If you are new to the channel, I make Charlotte Hornets content, so if that interests you, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. If you cannot tell by the thumbnail title of this video, in today's video, we're going to be looking at this article by Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report, talking about every team's biggest need in the 2023 NBA draft. Have not seen this article, so I'm very interested to see what Zach Buckley talks about. His articles are hit or miss. I mean, and you're never going to be perfect, especially as a writer, especially trying to talk about 30 different teams. There's going to be some mistakes. There's going to be some teams you don't fully grasp, but we're here to talk about it from the Charlotte Hornets perspective and see, how much he nailed it, and if not, what parts was he missing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so we get to the Charlotte Hornets, and it says Charlotte Hornets, high-end talent. Based on just those words, I agree. High-end talent. The Hornets need more talent. Miles Bridges is coming back, but that's only an extent. We need someone else to be a star of some kind, all-star, one of those guys where you remember, I remember watching him and he was really good for the team, but he may not get the national ranking. Someone like that. It does not have to be a superstar, just someone anywhere from that like hometown hero type thing all the way to superstar. I'll take any of it, but they definitely do need more high-end talent. So let's read what Zach Buckley says here. So it says, Buzz City went nearly silent this past season. Getting just 36 games out of LaMelo Ball didn't help, but neither did the fact that no one else really emerged as a long-term keeper for the Hornets. Rookie center Mark Williams perhaps came closest, and even then, he only logged 828 minutes across 43 games. Charlotte needs more cornerstones, and that demand is great enough to trump talent over anything else. Guard Scoot Henderson of the G League isn't the cleanest on paper fit with LaMelo Ball, but the Hornets think Henderson is the best player. But if the Hornets think Henderson is the best player available at number 2, then he has to be the selection. If it weren't for Ball, this organization might be wholly rudderless. Charlotte has several key contributors heading into free agency, including PJ Washington and Kelly Oubre Jr., and it should be searching for ways to shed the money owed to Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward. So, to an extent, I agree with this, actually. So, Mark Williams probably did show the most promise out of everybody, and he didn't log enough minutes. Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward do both need to be gone so that Hornets can build a better roster. This roster was kind of built for a different team. I know it's same players, but it just feels like these are completely different teams. This team is not the same team that we had, in the past. So I agree with that. I'm not too concerned with the PJ and Kelly Oubre thing. I'm more than convinced that PJ Washington will be coming back. So, I mean, at what number, at what figure, I have no idea, but I am not concerned really too much. And even then, if we lose PJ in a sign and trade or something, I think you can make up for that type of production. I like PJ, want to keep PJ. If he just for some reason does not want to come back to Charlotte, you can replace his production with other players. Kelly Oubre, I'm not concerned with either. It's just if we lose him, we lose him. I like Kelly Oubre. We'll like Kelly Oubre to stay, especially as a bench piece. I don't know what the figure is. He had a really good season last year until he was hurt, so I don't know what that number is. I will say they did not trade him at the trade deadline, and I know he was injured, but I'm just saying that if they didn't trade him, I'm assuming they're trying to keep him. Will they keep him? I don't know, but I will say they are trying. So I'm not too concerned about that either. But what I don't know, maybe they're trying to avoid it, but you add Miles Bridges. I mean, we don't know what type of player he will be, but that adds a lot to it. You have another pair right there, another 20-point-per-game scorer. I know technically he's not on the team, but the Charlotte Hornets have his rights. He's been working out in Hornets gear. How old are those videos? I don't know. I know people say those could be old videos, and while that is true, I don't think he would still post them if he was thinking about leaving Charlotte. Also, Charlotte could have let him go and let him suffer. But instead, they decided to keep his rights and play out the situation. I feel like there's going to be some type of loyalty there. So I feel like Miles Bridges is coming back. While Zach Buckley did not address it, that could be for personal reasons. That could be, of course, Miles Bridges is not no saint. So I can understand that as well. But basketball-wise, you cannot ignore, it happened here, you cannot ignore a 20-point-per-game scorer, even if he comes back and averages 18. He's efficient. It's not like he was shooting poorly or anything like that. So that's something that needs to be acknowledged. But yes, I do agree with the high-end talent. I do agree while I don't know if it's Scoot Henderson or Brandon Miller, to me it really doesn't matter. You're getting high-end talent either way. I just know they need to hit the pick. I personally like Scoot Henderson. I 1,000% can see why someone would want Brandon Miller. I really like Brandon Miller's game. I feel like Scoot Henderson is just the more of the sure thing, while Brandon Miller has bust potential to me. And I don't like even using bust. I'm just saying he's not going to be who we want him to be, and that's that star. It's very possible of that. So, and it's possible either one. I think it's just more possible with Brandon Miller than it is Scoot Henderson. So it really is. They just need to hit. And I can't be the person, if Brandon Miller ends up being the right pick, but we chose Scoot Henderson, I will back that up and say, hey, I would have chose Scoot too, even though he didn't pan out. It sucks. They should have chose Brandon Miller, but I was wrong. But same can be said for Scoot Henderson. If they choose Scoot Henderson and he's the right pick, or if they choose Brandon Miller and it ended up being Scoot Henderson being the star, once again, I'll be like, well, I wanted Scoot Henderson. That was the star. Because we need that star. I don't care who it is, but we need that star desperately. So I agree with that. I just kind of don't agree how Zach Buckley got to that conclusion, but I 1,000% agree with the conclusion, and I agree with the Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward needs to go as well. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I think Terry's good. I think Gordon Hayward, it's like you don't want to attach picks to him to trade him, even though I can see it being easier to absorb his contract. So what I mean by that is you trade Gordon Hayward, more than likely you're trading him for space. So you might get like a second round pick or a team that can just take on his contract, right? With Terry Rozier, I don't think there's a team that, okay, we're going to take your contract. We're going to take your 3 years and whatever left, or 4 years or whatever's left, and give you picks back, like, small, nothing crazy, but just some picks back. You have that cap space now. I think if you trade Terry Rozier, it's going to come with players. Will those players be what the Hornets need? That is the problem I have with that, but I agree Terry Rozier should go before Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward only has a year left, so I don't want to attach compensation to Gordon Hayward in order to trade him. But I get that a team is more likely to take on Gordon Hayward, and then you can actually use that money as opposed to trading Terry Rozier. You don't really free up the money. You just get other players in his place, and those players might be on shorter deals, fine, but does that really allow you to maneuver the team? I don't think so. So that's just kind of where I stand on that. But yeah, I agree that they both should go. But how they should go, I don't know. But overall, I think Zach Buckley did a pretty decent job. I just feel like the Miles Bridges thing is being ignored a lot. And I get it. However, you just can't ignore it. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.